All right, I'm going to go ahead and get it recording so that we can, all right, it's recording. All right, well, welcome. I'm excited that you guys are on here, and I'm excited to share about how you can make your money back with plexus. It's a lot easier and simpler than you might think. First, I was just going to, let's see if I can get it to go. There we go. I was just going to introduce myself. Some of you may not know me well yet, but my name is Katie, and I am a Senior Gold Ambassador. You can see here my before, my 1 month, and my 3 month pictures kind of tell a lot of my story about how unhealthy I was before plexus, and then it just really set me right. I was really struggling with my health and couldn't sleep. I was in chronic pain and just having a really hard time with life in general, taking care of my 2 girls. And it just really turned all that around for me. And so when I started as an ambassador in July, I had already been on the products for a little while and was kind of ready to share, and started doing a lot of these things that we're going to tell you about tonight. And I got a lot of customers right off the bat, and I had all my products and my whole family's products paid for within a few weeks of sharing and doing these things that we're going to tell you. I was blown away by my first paycheck, and that was before I even had a single ambassador on my team. It was just all customers. And in September, I finally went silver. December 2015, I went gold, and then this last month, June 2016, I became senior gold. So it's been a really exciting journey, and I love it. I love what I do, and I'm excited to share with you guys about it. So hold on one second. I'm going to mute everybody. And Lynn, I will unmute you. Okay. All right, and then can you guys see this picture here on the side of my family? This is, I don't know, can you see it? Lynn, can you nod if you can see it?
I can see most of it, yeah.
I think it's being blocked by there. Anyway, that's my family. That's my why. You know, that's why I do what I do, to be the best mom and wife that I can be, and help provide for them. And also while I'm helping others, I get to help provide for them. So, all right, so let's jump into why plexus. You know, what makes this opportunity so unique, and why is it going to be an incredible chance for you to be able to make back your money and then make back even more than that? One thing that is really cool to understand about plexus is that we are literally in it from the ground floor, from the very beginning. I've got some information here from the Harvard Business School, and this is really interesting, but they said that in order for a multi-level marketing company to qualify as ground floor, the number of existing active ambassadors or distributors should be less than half of 1% of the population. So that would equal, for the United States, 1.5 million people. So 1.5 million ambassadors, and we would still be considered ground floor. We have about 450,000 ambassadors. So we are less than a third of that number. So this is very, very much a ground floor opportunity. It may seem like everybody's talked about plexus now. Most people in this country have not heard of plexus yet, and so the opportunity there is incredible. The health and wealth testimonies that we have are just insane. Even just on our own team, we have people who, you know, have been barely functional, who are now running 5Ks and sleeping better than they ever, you know, people who had insomnia that couldn't sleep at all. Now they're sleeping like a baby. Like my thing, chronic pain. You know, there's just incredible, incredible health stories. And then on the other side of it, the wealth, you know, people who are able to stay home with their babies because of plexus. They get to retire early from teaching or nursing or whatever it is that they did as a career that was taking away from their families. Now they get to be home with their babies if they want to be, or just have the freedom. So that's just incredible. It's mind-blowing. It's absolutely changing lives. And it's desperately needed. Morgan Stanley, another thing here, Morgan Stanley is an investor in our company. If you haven't heard of Morgan Stanley, they're big investors in Google and Facebook. So, they pick winners. They invest in winning companies that are doing incredibly well, and they have invested in plexus. All right, so here is a little snapshot of the average monthly income by rank. Now, if you are not interested in ranking up in the company, that is okay. You can still make quite a lot of money without building a team, okay? So this next slide is going to show you a little bit more of the financial potential of what you can make in each rank. And a lot of it depends on PV, which is what we're going to get into. So there you can see some of the potential. I can say from my experience that this is very right on with what I've experienced. Lynn, would you agree?
Yes, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
This is even on the low end for some people.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we're going to get into a little bit of the compensation plan basics so that you can understand how you can make money. Our comp plan is pretty amazing. We can be paid 11 different ways and 5 times a month. So you can be getting a paycheck every single week, in addition to the one on the 15th of every month. So there's huge potential there. Our compensation plan is very generous, and it's unique to Plexus. It's really interesting because when you research different companies' compensation plans, they are really designed so that the company always wins. No matter how much work you're doing, what you're doing, how big your team is growing, the company is always the winner. It's almost like, a casino in Las Vegas. The company is going to win. With Plexus, the way they have it set up, they have some flexibility built into the compensation plan. The ambassadors are winning. And it's helping the company too, but it's helping them in a very fair way. So the ambassadors and the company are winning both, the same. They're both making great money. Okay, so they're not cheating us. They're very generous, and they're very fair with their compensation plan. All right, so tonight we're just going to focus on 2 of the ways that we're paid, because especially if you are brand new, these are the 2 ways that you can start making money right off the bat. So the first way is commission on your sales. So what you need to understand with how this works, the first 100 PV, we don't get paid commission on that. That goes back to the company. Then the $100 to 499 PV, you're paid 15%. And then once you hit 500 PV, you are paid 25% on everything over 100 PV. So you can see as soon as you hit that 500 PV, you're going to be making more overall. Okay. The second way is preferred customer bonuses. When you sign up a preferred customer, that means that they are set up for a monthly auto ship, but that can be canceled or changed. So they're not getting locked into anything. They get a discount and you get a bonus. So for every product or combo of products, there is a set bonus amount. And every month that your customer orders that, you get that bonus. So that is a really great way to start making an income, because you get the commission and you get the bonus if you have preferred customers. Hold on one second. Can you guys see this?
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to move the little, okay, there we go. Okay, so one thing that you need to understand to get paid, you must have a backup order on, and your backup order has to have a minimum of 100 PV, and you have to have 100 PV, and then everything above that 100 you're paid commission on. Now, the backup order won't necessarily go through. You are not required to make a purchase to get paid, but the backup order being on is what tells Plexus that you're active as an ambassador and that you want to be paid. So there's two ways you can set it up. The conditional backup order will only go through if you don't already have 100 PV. So if you haven't had any orders go through, and then that one will go through so that you're commission qualified. But if you've already had someone order a triplex, for example, then you won't have that order go through. So that's how the conditional backup order works. The unconditional backup order will go through no matter what. So regardless of your PV, say you have 1,000 PV, your backup order would still go through if you have it set up as an unconditional backup order. So that's just if you want to be getting your products no matter what, you would want to set it up a conditional. All right. So let me move this down a little bit. All right, so this is where it gets really cool because you can see the math. Just a few customers can completely cover your products. So this is kind of how it breaks down. You order your products, that's $109 that you pay. Your PV would be $101. So that you don't get paid commission on that first $100. But once you start selling a few more triplex combos above that, that's where you start getting what's in your pocket. So sell one preferred triplex, you would get about $20 between the commission and the preferred customer bonus. Sell 3, you're making about $93. Sell 5, $215. So you can see how with just 3 to 5 customers, you are getting your products paid for. 5 customers is not that crazy hard to do. Okay. One more thing about customers. Preferred customers really are the best option as between the retail and preferred because they get a discount and you get a bonus. Both retail and preferred get the 60-day money-back guarantee. But I really, really encourage all of my customers to buy preferred because they can cancel their auto shipment or change it, and there's no penalty for that, and they get the discount, and then I get the bonus. So I always really try and encourage preferred. And when you get into wholesale and encouraging people to sign up as ambassadors and stuff, that's kind of a different subject that we'll do a different Zoom on that later. But that's how the other ways that we're paid comes into play. But if you're just really wanting to get a few customers to get your products paid for, you want to get them to buy preferred. All right, so now we're going to get into the steps of how to actually do that. How do you get a few customers? And Lynn is going to take over from here, right?
Right. First of all, these are just kind of the nuts and bolts of how to do this. Am I on the screen now? Because all I see is Katie. But anyway, regardless, the first thing you'll want to do is make a list of 100 people. And it talks about your warm market. Those are people in your life that you know in different ways. And we call it the Franks list. And that stands for friends, relatives, acquaintances, neighbors, kid connections, and service people like your someone who cuts your yard or your mailman or people like that. So those are the people you want to think about. And the way I made my Franks list to start with is, I put a lot of my family down, but I also looked through my Facebook friends and made a list that way. So that's the first thing you want to do is make your list. Okay. So our next slide.
Do you want me to skip this one too?
Do what?
Can you see this one?
I can see it now. Okay. Yeah. Who should go on your list? That's anyone who could benefit from plexus. And as far as I'm concerned, that's everybody because gut health affects everybody on the planet. So just make a list of all those people and start contacting them, but don't be nervous about it. Well, you're going to be nervous about it because I was nervous. I think Katie was too. It took me a while to do that first one, but once you get that first one under your belt, you're pretty good. So But we're changing lives with these products. So people need them. And there are lots of health issues, as you can see on this next slide, that Candida is making our country sick. And I won't go through all of those, obviously, but just about everybody has been affected by at least one or probably multiple symptoms. And our probiotic, if they would just take one thing, our probiotic is just life-changing, and it does address so many of these areas. So those are good things to share with people. And our basic DMO, and that stands for our daily method of operation. And you'll hear this all the time with Plexus, and you'll hear it in other network marketing businesses as well. It's called the 531, and it's simply to contact 5 people each day, then follow up with 3 and train 1. And the train 1 can be yourself or it can be someone that's on your team. But that is just the basic things. If you will do that every day, you will get customers, because the more people you contact, you're going to have a lot of no's. That's a given. But the more people you contact, the more room there is for the yeses. And the follow-up, I'm telling you, you'll hear this often in Plexus too, but there's fortune in the follow-up. If you don't follow up with people once they've shown an interest and have asked a few questions, then you're going to lose a sale. They're going to find a different product or find a different person to buy it from, so you want to follow up. I followed up with several people tonight, and I have followed up with some of them numerous times. Even had a lady today that said that she was nervous about buying it because she wasn't sure if it would work. And I said, that's no problem. I can understand that, but we have our great 60-day money-back guarantee. So you just have to kind of walk people through it, answer their questions, and follow up. But the fortune is in the follow-up. And look at those YouTube videos. You can Google Plexus on YouTube, and you will find just a wealth of information on there. So be sure and train yourself on all of the products. Okay? And it's important to set your goals, because if you don't set your goals, then you may not be able to go anywhere in this business. I've got my goal set for gold, and I'm pretty close to getting there. So I'm working really hard to get some more ambassadors on my team. But it's so important. You want to set the goals of how many ambassadors do you want? How much product volume do you want every month? How many customers? The next rank. Or if you're just wanting to get your products paid for, that's a simple goal of saying, I'm going to get 3 to 5 customers to be able to get my products for free. And I think you'll find once you get those first few customers, you'll get the bug. That's what I did. It bit me hard, and I thought that I can really make a go of this business. And I'm so excited about where I am and where I'm headed. And we have the best team in the whole Plexus community, I feel like. We have so many diamonds in our upline, and so you need to set a goal. My ultimate goal is to be a Plexus diamond and to drive that Lexus and walk across that stage. So, but I'm starting with gold for my next one. Okay? And please, if you haven't made your first Facebook post, go ahead and do it. It took me several days, maybe a couple of weeks to do that. I was so nervous about it. I asked Erin, my daughter, 1,000 questions. What should I say and all of that? But a great place to start is with your first post is your why. Why did you start Plexus Journey? And maybe you've been on the products for a while. You could also say some of what they have done for you without naming any specific diseases. But your goal is to post 1 to 3 times a day about Plexus at the peak hours. That would be in the morning, like 7 to 9, as people are getting on Facebook and looking at it, and around the noon hour, 12 to 2, and then the evening hour, 8 to 10. And even later, a lot of people stay up late on Facebook, and a lot of times those late posts will appear the next morning for people. So post 3 times a day. But continue posting your personal stuff. Like, I'm going to post my scripture verse every morning. That's just the way I do. I love starting my morning with scripture reading, and I always post a scripture verse. And I post about my grandchildren a lot because they're so cute. But anyway, post about your personal life, and because people want to know about you. They want to know what's going on in your life. They don't want all your posts to be about plexus. But the more you can engage your audience, the more they will see your plexus post. So that's very important. And then it's also important to rotate about the products and about the opportunity, and then about your personal journey. And I'll tell you another great way that I think really boosted my business was when the first time I posted a video. And it's something that you can be very personal with. It's like you're sitting down one-on-one and talking to them. So I know the idea of posting is making you nervous. The idea of a video is probably making you break out in hives. But believe me, you'll eventually get to the point where you're comfortable doing that. And so Facebook posting is so important. It will jumpstart your business, and it will help you launch out. So be sure and do your Facebook posting. All right, and then train yourself. I had not watched the Timmy Yancey. Is it pronounced Timmy? Timmy
Yes.
Yancey? Yeah. I had not watched that video yet, and I watched it today. The most entertaining one I've seen lately. She's such a hoot. But she tells about how to go silver. She's no holds barred. She's funny. She's kind of a country girl, but she gives some great advice on how to go silver. So be sure and watch that. And use your Getting Started guide. There's some great information in there. Be sure and get on your back office. I'm always amazed when I get on there at the videos and the training, the things about the products, the business opportunity that are on your back office. That is a great resource. And read about the products and search through files. Katie has a wealth of information on the No Regrets page. I've posted it on my team page, and there's so much information there for you. And as I said before, watch the YouTube videos. And if you want to be inspired, if you want to get some goals, watch the diamond videos. They're amazing. They're just normal people who have set out to do great things with the plexus business. And this is doable for all of us. It is an amazing opportunity, and you can see that in these videos. But train yourself on the products, because people will ask questions. And if you don't know something, Google it. You can search in the Facebook search engine, which is a wonderful feature of Facebook now. So search for those videos, the product information. If you ever have a question about something, if it's accurate, be sure and ask one of your uplines, and always be compliant with your post. Don't mention diseases, specific diseases, and plexus in the same post. What I typically do is publish something about a disease, and then later on maybe share about a product that would help with that, but without mentioning it. So I think people get the connection, don't you, Katie, with those things? So
Yeah.
Anyway, but train yourself. That's so important. And these products are amazing. I love reading about them and watching the videos about them.
All right. Well, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Lynn. That's great.
You're
Yeah.
welcome. Thank you, Katie.
It's so simple. You know, it's just a simple daily thing. If you'll do it consistently, you will get some customers, you will start helping people, and you will get your products paid for. So that is how you can make your money back. So let me unmute everybody, or if you want to type, you can type in the chat. Does anyone have any questions? Anyone? If you don't, that's okay. Let me, I'll go ahead and stop